today has been a little bit of a hard day, and I thought I'd try to cheer myself up by telling you guys a bit of a funny story. This past fall, my husband and I went to the locally held Renaissance Festival. Happens every year, and it is a pretty big event that goes on. It lasts for several weeks. And we went the previous year, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna go again. So we went this year. And, well, this past year. And this past year, I knew there was something that I wanted to do. And it made me so nervous. Now, before you guys get all carried away, be like, oh, what crazy thing did you do at the Renaissance Festival? This is a thing that I've seen lots of people do and usually is considered incredibly low risk. But for me, it made me incredibly anxious and nervous in a way that I could not describe to my husband how anxious it made me. And I wanted to record this happening, but I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't ask. I was just so about doing it in the first place. And who knows, maybe this next year I'll give it another go and approach things a little differently. But there is a little shop set up, as there are a bajillion of at Renaissance festivals, and this shop braids hair. That's all they do. They do fancy braiding, they do normal braiding, they'll put flowers in your hair, they'll put ribbons in your hair, they braid hair. Like, that's the only thing that they do. And I saw them last year, and I was like, oh man, I would love to do that. But I am too scared to do that. Like, the only people that have actually successfully braided my hair and stuff are people that I am related to, or people that also have long hair that I have a certain amount of trust that they know what they're doing. Sometimes that still goes wrong, but I have a decent amount of trust that they have handled long hair and they know what they're doing. Another deep fear that I had was I don't know if they're using the same hairbrush on people. What if I get head lice and that's just the end of me right there? It's the only times I've had head lice, I was still living at home and my mom could help me deal with that situation and fix it. But I don't live with my mom anymore. That would have been horrifying. So this time, I'm gonna do it. I brought some spending money with me. I don't know how much they're gonna charge to braid my hair. It is quite long. And I am nervous. I am incredibly nervous. It was the second to last thing that we did because I was just so scared. And I didn't want my hair to end up messed up all day if it didn't go well. So we approached this place, and there's a waiting list line that you have to sign your name to and wait. Just kind of like a regular hair doing parlor, I guess. And I have done my hair in a way that's easy to take down on purpose so that it will easily facilitate someone else doing my hair. I have brought my own hairbrush and comb because I am petrified of getting head lice. And while I was there, they were sanitizing the comb that they used in between each use, which was very comforting to me to see that was going on. So I wasn't as nervous about the head lice thing after I saw their, function. I was like, okay, yeah, they're sanitizing in between each use. I'm okay with this. So I go in and I look through the book that they have that says how much each different hairstyle is. And really what I wanted was, because I didn't want to try to go all out and spend a bunch of money and have it not work. And I'm the type of person that would feel really, really guilty for not paying them for giving it a go because I know my hair is a special case and I don't want to blame them for their inability to do it, even though they're supposed to, it's their job to braid hair at this thing. So I'm like, ugh. So there are two people working there braiding hair. One of them is an older lady who looks incredibly experienced, and she's just braiding this girl's hair who has about shoulder length hair, so relatively short hair. And she's done this beautiful thing with it, and it's gorgeous. It's got ribbons in it, and I'm like, okay, I'm watching her braid hair. And then around the corner, there's a kid that looks like he's in his teens, maybe he's 20, I don't know, a young guy. And I was like, I hope I get the lady, because I am scared that I'm gonna traumatize this kid with my hair, and I know he can't have as much experience as the older lady because she's older and she's been doing this for more years of her life and has lived more years of her life. So I'm sitting there waiting, and I'm really thirsty, so I have sent my husband on a quest to go find some water, and he has returned, and so I'm drinking some water and I'm waiting and I'm trying not to panic, because the closer it gets to my name on the list, the more panicky I feel of like, maybe we should just go. Like maybe I shouldn't stay and do this. Maybe this is gonna be a horrible experience and it's gonna be awful, and I would just be like, it's okay. Nothing bad is going to happen. You're not here alone. You have support with you. You'll be okay. And I was surprised at myself about how worked up I was getting over it. Like, I was just terrified of letting this person just touch my hair. And when it came my turn, it was the younger guy that was gonna be doing mine. It was just how it turned out on the list. And I guess I could have requested the other lady, but I didn't want to be annoying, and we're just going with it. So I get over there, and my hair is still up in a bun that is easily removed. And I'm trying to ease him into it. And he's just kind of like, okay, yeah, come on, get your hair down so that I can go ahead and braid it, because he's just trying to do his job. And I'm like, okay, my hair is really long. And he says, okay, that's fine. And I said, so you've done long hair before? He said, yeah. I said, okay, mine is really long. And he just looked at me like, yeah, okay, whatever, just get your hair down. I said, okay, fine. So I take my hair down. And as most of you know, my hair is quite a bit longer than I am tall. It's about 1.5 to 2 feet longer than me. So that comes out to, like, I'm around 5 foot tall, and so my hair is closer to 7 foot long. The 7 foot long hair just comes down out of my head, and he looks surprised, but he also doesn't look panicked. And that's why, if I had seen panic in his eyes, I'd have been like, it's okay, I'll wait for her, and it'll all be fine, and no hard feelings. He didn't look panicked. I think it was one of those, like, challenge accepted, let's do this kind of thing. And so he's got this stool that he's working at. I'm thinking maybe I should stand up, because it's usually easier for me to do my own hair when I'm standing because it's so long. But I sit on the little hair stool, and my hair is already pretty well combed out, so it's not challenging. And I asked for a plain, normal French braid. That's all I want. I just want a French braid. And, you know, pretty much starting like here and coming down the back of my head, because I feel like it's weird when it's on the top of my head. My head looks weird. Probably doesn't. Probably all in my own, you know. But I asked him to start, you know, here and braid down. And he said, that's fine. I can do that. So he starts to, I have given him no guidance on purpose, because I'm like, you know, this is his job, and he says he can do long hair, and I don't want to be condescending. I don't want to be that jerk that's telling you how to do your job. So I said nothing. I sat down and let him work on my hair. And first of all, I haven't had another person do my hair in years. It's been a really long time. So the general experience of having my hair done by another person was incredibly enjoyable. I want to start with that. I enjoyed my experience for the most part. But he did have a hard time. He managed to succeed in getting a braid from here to about the back of my neck. At which point I told him, this is good enough, you can just stop. This is fine. I'll just put my ponytail in and put it back up in the simple bun that I had before. because I could see that things weren't going well, and I was terrified to let him continue braiding. So first customer complaint, this may just have been a miscommunication of names of different braids. This could have been that he was thinking really hard about how he was going to be doing his job, and so he accidentally did the wrong kind. He gave me a Dutch braid instead of a French braid. And for you braidy people, a Dutch braid is where it looks like the braid is just sitting on top of your head and you can see all the detail of the braid. A French braid is where it's sort of hidden underneath, and so it's just kind of smooth across the top, which is what I prefer for my own head. I think they're both beautiful, but I tend to prefer a French braid over a Dutch braid for myself. He gave me a Dutch braid, which, whatever. I mean, I was just happy to have someone else trying to do my hair. But I was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't what I asked for. The second thing is that he didn't realize how often he would be required to separate the hair all the way down to the bottom and make sure it's not weaving itself together at the bottom and getting tangled. Now, with someone with generally long hair, you already have to do this, but with someone with extremely long hair, you have to make sure to separate the hair all the way to the bottom every time you pull off another piece to add to the braid. You have to do this, because if you don't, it turns out into this massive wad of tangle at the end of the hair. What was not helping him was it was a cold day, and I've noticed that when my hair is just exposed to the cold, not in a bun or a braid or anything, it becomes more difficult to detangle. I don't know if it's like a dehydration thing. I don't know why, but it's something I've noticed several times. It's just a little bit more difficult to get smoothed and detangled when it's really cold. So yeah, it was cold out. That wasn't helping. Eventually, he sees his problem, which I was trying not to get involved in, even though it was attached to my head. And he sees that this is not working with him just braiding and then detangling later. That's not working at all. And another kid comes over to assist him. This kid does look younger, but he's like apprenticing there or something. I don't know. But he comes over and says, can I help? Because, you know, he had his hands full. And he said, yeah, can you detangle this at the bottom? And that other kid looks at it and looks back up, and he does have the panic in his eyes. I can see it back in there of like, I don't know what to do with this. This is beyond help. And I was like, oh no. So I just had him stop like at the base of my neck. I put the ponytail in, I put it back up in a simple bun. I tried to detangle it for probably about 5 to 10 minutes, and that wasn't working because it was cold out and it just wasn't wanting to detangle. I ended up coming home and taking it down and washing it immediately, which made me a little sad because I was hoping to keep the French braid Dutch braid in my hair, you know, for at least a day and kind of enjoy it. I paid the man for his troubles. He did not ask much money because it didn't go as planned, but, you know, I paid him for a good try. And I still really enjoyed feeling my hair combed by somebody else. I enjoyed having the feeling of a French braid or a Dutch braid like in your head. Feels good. Like, it feels really nice. I enjoy that. I can't do it on myself because I can't hold on to the braid and keep track of all the strands and separate it at the bottom at the same time because it's like attached to my head. I can't like move over and take care of the other end. And I think if I ever try this again, I'm going to either give my husband some instructions beforehand on how to assist this poor fellow, or request the older, more experienced hairdresser. You know, or give more guidance while another person's trying to do my hair. I think that is the moral of this story, is I shouldn't just throw them to the wolves and just let them try. But it's hard whenever they've told you, I can do long hair, I know how to do long hair, this is fine, I can take care of this. And I'm like, oh, well, you're the professional, I'll just leave it to you. It's like, that's a bad idea, because I think people with hair of my length is rare enough for me to expect that they have not done it. And once they've done mine, they can say that they've had some experience with long hair. But before that point, there's so many people that think long hair is like the middle of your back, and that's just what long hair is. And when they're faced with incredibly long hair, it just doesn't work out a lot of the time. So yeah, that is my Renaissance Festival experience, and who knows, maybe I'll put myself through the same thing next year. I did not get head lice. Suffice to say, it was all fine, and I wish the braid could have lasted longer, but it was not to be. And after I washed it out with lots of conditioner, I got all of the tangles out of the bottom of my hair. But yeah, that was my story, and I just wanted to share that because I thought it might amuse some of you people. And I don't know if any of you have gone to a Renaissance festival and had your hair braided by a professional hair braider, and I hope it went better for you than it went for me. I used to do a lot more fancy hair braids on myself and my sisters with ribbons and with just stuff in my hair. I did hairstyles where I would literally sew the bun together with ribbons, and the ribbons would be holding it up instead of hairpins. I've done all kinds of fancy stuff, but not for a long time. Not since my hair was longer than me. So it was an experience, and maybe I'll ask for something more bold next time. Maybe I'll wait for them to figure out the simple braid before I move on to the next thing. We'll see. But it was fun, and I hope you had fun in this story. And that's all I've got.